Hey guys, Roni here. It is Thursday podcast time. I'm excited. I'm actually tackling this early in the morning. Just put little guy on the bus. Husband's at work. I'm showered. I'm getting into this work at home groove thing, which is really I'm starting to grapple it. Of course, I'll have a newborn in a few weeks and my schedule will be all blown up again anyway. But I'm making an effort. So anyway, it is Thursday. I have lots and lots of questions. I'm going to start with a new R1 again, just from 3 days ago. And then I'll go into the archives from last summer. So the new question, it's when I saw it come in, I said, oh my gosh, this is perfect because this is a topic that I actually want to talk about. So it is from Sally or Sally. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's S-A-L-I. And Sally says, do you think you could have lost the weight knowing what you know now without following a specific plan like Weight Watchers? Okay, this is a great question, and the reason why I think it's so pertinent right now is because I have been kind of on the fence about going back to Weight Watchers post-baby, and there is part of me that's like, I don't need it. I know what I know now, and I've had 6 years to, I don't know, really adapt my own approaches and eating style, and they've morphed and they change, and I just feel really good about my knowledge about myself and my diet and what works for me and what doesn't work for me. And so I have been like going, should I go back or should I go back? But then there's another part of me that's like, well, it would be really nice to have the structure of a plan. I kind of am a structure girl. I liked weighing in once a week at a separate location. I liked going to the meetings. It made what I was attempting to do, like it made the weight loss a priority. It was how I kind of took back time for me. I looked at it like a class, like this is my time. When you have a new baby and there's things going on, sometimes you have to take time. And so in a weird way, joining Weight Watchers and kind of following the plan and having that little bit of extra structure and outlet, really it's kind of like an outlet. I think that was a huge part of my success, and I kind of think I want that stability after the baby comes, and go down that route again. So this question, really, before you even asked it, I've been struggling internally with these kind of thoughts, like, should I or shouldn't I? Should I trust myself? Should I just do what I know I can do? Or should I, invest the time and the energy into doing a more structured plan, again, like Weight Watchers? So I haven't come to a complete conclusion yet. I'm leaning towards going back to Weight Watchers only because, like I said, I think I want to make it a priority, and having something scheduled on the calendar, like a meeting every whenever, for me, I almost need that structure. I know myself. I need that. I do think I can do it on my own. It's not a confidence thing or I don't know. It's just that I don't know if I want to do it on my own. So I think this is kind of something that individuals have to decide on their own. I've read tons of blogs from people who have lost weight and they just did their own thing. And then I read tons of blogs from people who have lost weight and they followed a plan, like Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or something else. And so, when it comes down to it, you have to know yourself. And so I'm leaning towards going back, but I haven't decided yet. But it's a great question, Sally. I really do think I could, knowing what I know now. They always say hindsight is 20/20. Knowing what I know now, I know, like I said, I learned so much about like when I did daily weigh-ins and the way I now balance my diet and the way I approach cooking and how I approach eating out and all of that. I gained a lot of experience but it started from going to Weight Watchers, but I didn't lose, like, I could still apply all that stuff without going. So it was, I don't know, your question really, it just kind of, it made me smile when I read it, because I thought, oh, I'm thinking this exact question, I'm asking this exact question of myself right now. So it was very pertinent. But I do think I can, but I'm not sure if I want to. There's also a sense of community that the Weight Watcher, that joining something like Weight Watchers has, and I mean, I'm pretty social. You guys know. I mean, I love connecting and communicating and meeting new people and sharing tips, and so if I was on my own, I mean, of course I have the blog, so I kind of created that outlet for myself, but if I was on my own totally, I wouldn't have that. So again, knowing myself and knowing what kind of person I am and what I like, again, it's more appealing to go back to something like Weight Watchers because there's that sense of community there. So it's an intriguing question. I could probably ponder this all day. But and I hope I'm saying your name right. I think it's Solly. Great question. And I think I can, but I'm not sure if I want to. That's pretty much how I would answer you. All right, I'm going to move on. But I just thought that was just a great question right now at this time. Okay, the next question is from Pam from October. I'm catching up. Pretty soon I'm going to run out of questions, and then what will I do? All right, Pam says, hey, Roni, I've been reading your blog for quite some time now. Oh, and I wanted to say congratulations to you. I don't know if you remember or not, but I had recommended the Hershey Half Marathon way back a few months ago. I do remember. Well, it was this past Sunday. This was October. And I had trained and was so excited to run it with my friend. About a week before the race, I suffered an injury to my foot/ankle. I'm not sure yet what it is, but I believe it to be she's going to drop medical terminology on me, peroneal tendonitis. It was one of the hardest decisions I had to make, but I sat out of the race on Sunday. I had literally been on crutches till race day, keeping weight off my foot, and was damn determined to still race. I was on the starting line getting ready to go when my friend turned to me and said, "Are you sure?" And I literally broke down and walked to the sideline. I'm still trying to keep off of it and doing what I can to heal, but mentally it's killing me not being able to run. I guess my question is, have you ever felt this way, and how did you console yourself and not get so utterly depressed? Also, I am so scared to start back up running because I do not want to re-injure myself. I am just a mess right now, and I can't seem to get my emotions under control with everything. Thanks so much for your time, and I really love and appreciate everything you do. Okay, Pam. Okay, so this was a couple months ago, so I'm curious how your injury is doing now. But again, this is kind of a pertinent question to me because even though I'm not injured, I'm pregnant, which is, of course, stifling my running. And so I can really relate to you right now. And I actually have a lot of the same feelings and emotions that you have. I'm worried whether or not I'm going to start back up. I'm worried that I'm kind of losing this, I don't know how to describe it, like running spark that you have. And those of us who run, like those of you that run may understand, like maybe it's because I started running later in life and adopted the habit later that sometimes I fear that it's temporary, or I don't know, it's like a fragile relationship, me and running. And so that's one of the reasons why I tried to keep up with running so much through the pregnancy, was because I didn't want to disrupt the relationship between me and my running, because I really do enjoy it, but yet there's like this weird part of me that's like, it's so easy to go back to not running again. Like not running is my default, and I'm breaking out of that to run, and so it's easy to go back. I don't know if any of this makes any kind of sense, but so I understand what you're saying. And an injury would do the same thing to you. You had to do an abrupt stop, and now you're worried and you're scared of whether or not you'll continue running, or if you can even continue running. So that's like the aspect of having an injury. Thankfully, fortunately, I haven't had kind of any real running injuries that prevented me, so it's hard for me. I don't really relate to the fear of not being able to run. Like I don't have that fear with the pregnancy. I don't see what would happen that would cause me not to be able to run. I guess if I had a C-section, that would be difficult. I don't know. But for me, here, again, all I could do is share some of the strategies that I'm using right now, being in a non-running state. And I actually just had dinner last night with a friend, and when we were chatting about some events that were coming up this spring and early summer, and I said, you know what, once it gets closer to me giving birth, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to like look at some races that I can sign up for. So for me, it's all about the events. Like I don't need the events, but the events, committing to like a 5K or a 10K or some even I'm already really considering doing the half in Baltimore in October. I can feel the spark coming back. Even though I'm not running right now, I'm thinking about the events and I'm thinking about training for them and having fun and pushing the little running stroller and having, you know what I mean? So I think you can hold on to the excitement of it, even though you can't currently run. Look ahead 6 months and see if you can find another fun event that can kind of get that spark going for yourself again. Of course, I mean, you have to tend to your injury. Go see doctors, make sure that it's okay for you to run. The other alternative I would say is, like, if I had a knee injury or an ankle injury where I wasn't sure if I could run, I would maybe start to look at other activities that I could do that wouldn't affect the injury. So, I don't know, maybe if it's your knee, you can ride a bike or go swimming and maybe take up swimming and kind of have a supplement activity that you can do while you're healing with that activity. Of course, not pushing yourself and not re-injuring yourself or anything like that. But I mean, really, I can't advise on the medical aspect of it. You have to kind of talk to your doctor there. But I can completely relate to the fear and kind of the emotional aspect of not being able to run and having this nagging, like, I don't want to lose that feeling, because that's really where I am right now. So Pam, I do remember you. I do remember the Hershey Run, and I really considered it. Actually, I actually remember talking to my mom about it, and we were thinking about doing because she lives north of Hershey and I live south of Hershey. We were going to meet in the middle to do the race, but I don't remember why I didn't do it. I think it was just the logistical nightmare. I don't really like running in races where I have to get a hotel room. This sounds so weird. But I did the Zuma half marathon in Annapolis, and we had to go and spend the night before. And I like to do ones that are in driving distance from my house, or ones where I can go see a friend and stay with them. Like I did the Pittsburgh half last year. That was really fun because I was able to visit a friend and stay at her house. And but the logistics of learning a new city, finding the hotel that's close, getting to the race on time, it overwhelms me sometimes. I'm becoming more, the older I get, the more and more I'm becoming a local girl, where I don't want to leave this 20-mile radius. It's really sad. I know. But Pam, I hope that helps a little bit. I hope your injury is doing well, and I will email you and see how you're doing. I'm curious if you're still running, and I'm sure if you can comment and let us know how the injury progressed or didn't, or whether or not, how long it took you to get back on your feet. I'm sure people would be really interested. Okay, I'm going to move on to another question, and this is from Laura, who I know very well, has been reading for quite some time. Laura says, "Hi Roni, I've been following your sites for as long as I can remember, and for as long as I can remember, Laura has been commenting on my sites. I've been trying to lose weight forever and have been doing Jenny Craig and lost pretty much what I wanted, but did not know it at the time. Parentheses, I am dumb. I'm sure that's not the case. All without exercising." Well, Laura, I did the same exact thing, so I don't think I'm dumb. Then I got a little lazy and gained most back. I started to stick to plan again and lost 14 pounds. Then had several weekends away this summer, a week in Vegas, so the weight loss stalled, but I did not gain, so I was pleased. Anytime you're going out and having fun and your weight stays consistent, complete success in my book. I am back to plan, and for the last 2 weeks I've been working out harder than ever before. I bought a Gazelle, and I started at 30 minutes and have increased a minute a day. Monday through Friday I have been increasing the time and was going to give myself weekends off. But the last 2 Saturdays I felt something is better than nothing, and I did 17 minutes. So of the last 14 days, I have worked out 12, took Sundays off. I never realized I actually still had muscles left in my stomach area. I have noticed that my muffin top does not have so much overhang as it used to, and that my belly, the dreaded skin from losing and gaining and having kids, is finally getting better and firmer. But, now for the big but. The scale has gone up instead of down, and I'm so disappointed. I know everyone says it. Muscle weighs more than fat, and that is normal, but still, did you face this too? And if so, how did you cope with it? I try to tell myself that for the first time in my 37 years, I'm doing something good. I'm sticking to my plan, I'm making great food choices, and I'm working out. What more can I ask for? I am trying to say, don't worry about the number on the scale, don't worry about continuing this routine, and it will. Wait, let me write that down. I am trying to say, do not worry about the number on the scale. Worry about continuing this routine, and it will pay off. But it is hard. Any insights on how you handled this would be great. Thanks, Laura. Okay, Laura. I totally went through the same mentality. I mean, really, I did the same. I mean, we're on a very similar path. I lost all 70 pounds, never ever exercising. Not in the traditional sense. I didn't go to the gym, I didn't take classes, I didn't run, I didn't ride a bike. I walked, I stayed active, I took the stairs. But it wasn't this conscious exercise, like I'm going to go exercise right now. I'm going to go play a sport right now. It wasn't like that. And like you, I felt I didn't gain and regain. I kept my weight down, but I kept getting this nagging feeling like I need to be doing something for me, like something, I need to move more. Like I literally, like my body wanted to move more. It was the weirdest thing. I don't know if it was freed up because the weight was gone and it was kind of like, hey, we're free, let's go have fun now. Like, you know what I mean? It was like a weird thing. But even on my walks, I wanted to walk longer. I wanted to take hills. I wanted to start jogging. It was like my body just craved movement. It took, by the way, over a year to get there, and that's when I joined the gym and that kind of thing. And there was this transitional time where I was still kind of preoccupied with the weight loss aspect of things, where I was still weighing myself daily, I was still counting points. But when I interjected the working out, slowly over time, I started to realize that the weight was irrelevant. Like, I think a lot of us that enter in this like life-changing journey of weight loss, we start in a weight loss thing. So everything is about lowering your calories, having less fat, basically everything that the weight loss mentality teaches us. Like, we got to take in less, eat less, lower portions. We even stay away from things that are really good for us because they're too high in points, like nuts or salmon or something like that. So I mean, then that's the mentality, because you're trying to reach a number on the goal, and I don't think there's anything wrong per se. I mean, I think like it's easy for me now to say, oh, you shouldn't think that way, you should really think more about health, but I still remember really well the desire to want to lose the weight and why you make certain decisions when you do. But like in your case and in my case, if we've lost the weight, I think we slowly have to shift our mentality to, okay, what's the best for me, for my body? What's the best thing I could be doing for myself right now? And especially if you're not really struggling with the diet mentality anymore. Like, so for me, it was like 2 years in, I really felt like I had a pretty good grip on the concept of stateless dieting. I really didn't. I wasn't binging as much. I didn't beat myself up if I had a cookie or things like that. So I felt like I had a really good grasp. My weight was being maintained. But then when I started interjecting the exercise, the scale, it did go up, and it didn't. I remember even having a goal. Like my goal was 140. Like that was my goal, and I was 145, and I could not get back down to 140 no matter what I did. And then I had a realization. I'm like, what's wrong with 145? I'm in the greatest shape of my life. I'm wearing clothes I didn't even know I could wear. I'm running for Pete's sake, right? Like I'm running and I'm lifting weights and I feel fantastic. And that's when I started to go, gosh, the scale is kind of bogus. I don't, especially if you've reached the goal, I think some part of us wants to still hold on to that dieting mentality because it's all we know. It's all I knew for 20 years. All I ever did was try to lower a stupid number on a scale. That was, my whole world revolved around that. That was what it was all about. Getting that number lower. Getting that number lower. And so to fight all of those instincts and to try to realize that it's okay if it slightly goes higher it's a huge shift in your thinking, and it's an emotional, and you're trying to figure out. It's kind of like the same shift from losing to maintaining. And some people, they don't understand. They just don't get it. But again, for 20 years, all you're doing is trying to lower a number on a scale. And then you hit that magical number that you wanted to hit, which happened to me. All of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute, now what? Like, what do I do now? Like, what, if I'm not trying to lower it, okay, now I'm trying to keep it. And once you're at your goal weight, like this is another emotion I kind of went through. Like once you're there for a long time, no one's patting you on the back anymore. No one's going, oh, you look really great. Are you losing weight? And there was this kind of thing that you kind of fed off this the weight loss kind of, I don't know, filled a void while you were losing. But once you lose, you got to figure out what you're going to do with yourself. And for us, I think taking on some kind of exercise routine, which is good, it's not always going to treat the scale well. And so you have to start really pulling away from that whole mentality, pulling away from the scale, depending on it less and less and less and less, and just looking at your routine. So like you said, I need to start just focusing on my routine. Keep eating good. Keep working out. I feel great. And you're right when you ask, what more can you ask for? There's really, here's how I would say, here's what how I would put it. Would you trade how you feel and for the lower number on the scale? Like, if you were going to feel really shitty, like, I'll just lay it out there. If you're going to feel really shitty, be tired all the time and mopey and depressed and da-da-da-da-da and struggling with your food choices and not really feeling, motivated, and you have like those feelings, but you were that ideal number on the scale that you've pictured in your mind, like I'm gonna be one whatever, you know what I mean? Or would you give up that number on the scale and say, I don't even want to know what the number on the scale is, but I feel fantastic and I feel in control and I love myself and I'm exercising and I want to do more active things and I want to go for walks with my family, and just you have a zip in your step and you're confident and you're excited to go. I would take the confidence and that feeling of life is great and have a way higher number on the scale. And I think that maybe, I don't know if it's easier for me to say that now. I mean, really, gaining weight now, like I'm up almost 40 pounds this pregnancy. I still feel fantastic. And actually, I went to the doctor, not yesterday, the day before, and I forgot that I had to weigh in. Like, I just forgot. She's like, you have to get on the scale. And I went, oh, crap. I was like, I totally forgot. I haven't gotten on the scale at home this whole pregnancy. So I got on the scale, and I looked at the number, and it was said 183. I think that's what it said. I haven't seen that number in a long time. And I even said, and I looked at, my husband came with me to this OB appointment. I looked at him and I go, I used to weigh that, not pregnant. I'm 8 months pregnant. You know what I mean? It was like, and then the woman, the nurse kind of laughed. And I'm like, it's only a number. I feel great. And she's like, oh, that was a great attitude. Look, I'm going to get teary about this. But it's true, like, I feel fantastic. I can't focus on the number. Can't do it. Not going to do it. So, Laura, don't focus on the number. Focus on how great you feel. Just how fabulously awesome you are for treating your body so well, for eating great, for moving more. Just embrace the lifestyle that you're adapting. Just embrace it. It's awesome. It's awesome. and ignore the number. It's not about the number. Let's not think about the number. Or I'm going to move on because that got me really emotional. And I can start making these hours. I'm talking to my computer in my empty house. It's so creepy. But I can talk about this stuff forever. It's really, really weird. All right, so Laura, ignore the number. Keep doing what you're doing. I think you're doing fabulous. And I will check in on you on Facebook. All right, next question. Let's see if I can get 2 more in 4 minutes. Next question is from Ju. Ju, this is from September. Hi, Roni. You're truly inspirational. My daughter is 20 months old, and I have lost most of the weight now after birth, but still I have a lot more, 30 pounds or so. I'm on a low-carb diet. I have no dinner at night, but a simple protein shake. I'm very active, but I'm not losing at all. But at the same time, I'm not gaining. Maybe I'm on a weight plateau. How do you keep yourself motivated? Okay, Ju, this is a really hard question for me to answer. Well, not the how do you stay motivated question, but the plateau questions get me all the time. Because I can give you some of my advice on how to overcome a plateau. But when you say something like you're on a low-carb diet, which I think low-carb diets actually work. I mean, again, if you follow them and if it meets your lifestyle needs, I lost lots of weight on low-carb, but I couldn't maintain it long term. But when you say things like I have no dinner except a simple protein shake, and then you ask me how I stay motivated, I would say I make myself fun things to eat. That is one way I stay motivated. I mean, this is what Green Light Bites is all about, really. It's an outlet for me to stay motivated to keep eating healthy things. If I was trying to lose weight and I was looking at having just a shake every night for dinner, I would be dreading it. I'd probably be sneaking food because I would be, again, this is me, not you. I'm not saying this is what you're doing. But I would be entering in that mentality and that cycle of I just need to do this to lose the 30 pounds and then I'll adopt healthier habits. And that's really the mentality you want to get away from. So I would say, not a dietitian, not whatever, but start feeding your body real foods. Good, healthy foods. Can you replace that shake at night with, I don't know, a nice, big, huge salad made with greens and have a hard-boiled egg for some protein? Or, like, I don't know if that's what you're into. If that's not what you're into, then, maybe a nice piece of fish with some whole grain rice on this. Like, your body, I don't know. I really think we need to start eating real foods. And don't get me wrong, I went on the Slim Fast kick, and I went on the, I'll just eat these. I just saw a commercial the other day for Yoplay's new thing. I caught the end of it, so I don't even know if I have this right, but you guys will have to tell me. Is there some new, kind of like the Special K, replace 2 meals a day with a bowl of Special K, and you'll lose 9 pounds in 2 weeks, or whatever. Of course you will. You're eating just a crappy little bowl of cereal. Of course. But you're not going to be satisfied, in my opinion. I wouldn't be satisfied. So let me just, I would say that. I wouldn't be satisfied in that. I want to eat real food. I want variety. I want some color. I don't want to eat bland, rice-based cereal for 2 meals of my 3 meals a day. I'm frustrated. So then I see this new one for Yoplait where I think it's pretty much and please correct me in the comments. You have a Yoplait and a piece of fruit? Is that what it is? And you'll lose X number of weight for two meals a day? There's nothing wrong with the little yogurt cup. I'm a huge fan of little yogurt cups, and I know a lot of people don't because they have lots of artificial sweeteners in them or whatever. But you know what? I'm going to grab a A&N or a Yoplait or Weight Watchers yogurt or whatever one's on sale because they're good. They're tasty. It's low calorie. I've actually slowly been replacing it with Greek-style yogurt, but I don't think there's anything wrong with grabbing one of those cups. But to make that your whole meal, I think is utterly ridiculous. So, anyway, I just got on a soapbox there. I'm going to back up. So, Ju, I would say, to help you get past your plateau, I would start trying to, I just don't think that the protein shake at dinner time is, I don't know. I mean, theoretically, I guess you should still be losing weight. I don't know. I'm really bad at the plateau questions anymore, but I would mix it up is what I'm trying to say. if you still want to do the protein shake, do it in the morning and then eat a light dinner or something, or change up what you're eating. I really do believe that your bodies, and this is the same for exercise, again, this is just my theory and my opinion, is that your body kind of gets used to stuff. And then it holds on to things like fat, right? So it gets, if you are doing and eating the same exact thing day in and day out, and day in and day out, which I'm amazed by people that can do that, because I can't. I can barely eat the same meal twice, let alone eat the same thing day in and day out. But I think you get into your body, just like you do, you would get into a rut, you get into a groove. So shake things up a little bit. Introduce a new food. Just a new activity. If you're running, then maybe try some weightlifting. If you're, you know what I mean? Like, you got to mix it up a little bit. And really for your own mentality too. So like, not only will it maybe help your body get out of the plateau, but maybe it'll help your mind and your motivation. Like, you're asking, how do you keep yourself motivated? I keep myself motivated by keeping things fresh and different, and trying new things, and trying new foods, and trying new activities. I like the experience of it, and then I'm not bored. Do you know what I mean? So that would be my advice for you. And I hope that helps, and I hope you're eating real dinners. All right, I'm going to try this question one more. I don't know if it's a long one or not. I can't remember. Okay, last one, since I'm going way over, is from Anna Muir. Anna says, getting motivated again after miscarrying, it's not going to be a short one, getting motivated again, period. After miscarrying my 10-week unborn baby, I find myself struggling to get back in shape. I've gained 12 to 15 pounds. I usually gain a lot of weight in the beginning of pregnancies. I don't look bad, but I don't fit my clothes, and I just can't seem to find the motivation. I've done Weight Watchers and works really good, but her sentence, but I just can't make it more than a few days, and then I go back to bad eating. I want to get back in shape. Any suggestions are more than welcome. Thank you very much. All right, Anna, I'm going to try to answer this really quick, but still give you the time that you deserve. But I know this. I know this is this mentality of you want it, but you're not doing what you need to do to get it. Do you know what I mean? Like this is like the dieter's worst downfall, right? So I would say you're stuck in that dieting mentality. If you're still going into this gung ho, like, all right, I'm gonna walk through Weight Watchers and I'm gonna be really good, and I'm gonna follow the plan, and and then like a week goes by, and then you're like, screw it, I want pizza. Right? I've been in this cycle for years and years and years. I mean, I've talked about it this tons of times, but you really, really, really have to embrace the plan, whatever plan you decide to go in. And you have to realize that all of your decisions are quote-unquote on plan, like I said. So if you want that stupid pizza, and I always use pizza as an example, you guys know that, but whatever, insert your bad eating food here. Whatever that is, you have to just give yourself permission to have it, and then the next day, wake right back up and follow the plan again. I mean, it sounds so simple and so easy for me to give the advice of, well, just follow the plan. You know what I mean? But I know and I recognize it's not that easy for some of us that fall into this cycle of on and off. And I'm really, really motivated, and then I go back to ordering everything off the menu and wanting to eat, and you know what I mean? Like I know that on-off thing. So really, you have to buckle down. Sorry for the ding. You have to buckle down. You have to embrace the plan, and you have to start changing your mentality to say, this is what I want. This is how I want to live. And don't make things off limits, because I think that leads to the whole on-off, bad, good thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but really it comes down to putting one foot in front of the other, looking at every decision as a new decision, and doing your best, forgetting about being perfect. You can't be perfect on the new plan, and just because you below it or have a cookie or whatever doesn't mean you shouldn't pick right back up where you left off. That's the key. That's the key. You just have to keep trucking. You got to keep moving forward. Okay, I'm going to have to go. It's been really, really great talking to you guys. But I'm going on almost 40 minutes now. So let me sign off. I hope that helps a little bit, Anna. I will email you, and we can maybe discuss in email what's, how you're doing this. You wrote this a few months ago, so I'm curious how you're doing now. I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you guys are having a great week. See you soon.